Hey everyone, welcome to Lehi, Utah. If you're new to our channel, make sure you like and subscribe for everything Utah related. Today we're going to talk about the city of Lehi. So it's pronounced Lehi, not Lehi, which sounds kind of weird. Lehi is in Utah County. The median sales price for Lehi is $398,500, but that's for everything. If we are talking single family homes, we're talking a little bit higher at the $450 price, and if we're talking townhomes and condos, they're about $300 to $350. Lehi is a fantastic city. The school district for Lehi is Alpine School District, and there are two high schools in Lehi. Right now we're standing in front of Lehi High School, and the other high school in Lehi is Sky Ridge, which is just over the freeway, which is right over there. Lehi is a city that originally was a big farming city where there were big pieces of land, big family acreages, and now it's turned into more of a commercial space. We have the outlet mall just behind me, which is a really cool mall because it's an open air mall, but then they have a retractable roof, so when it snows in the winter you can still come out and shop. We are currently standing in the Traverse Mountain area of Lehi, which if you look behind me just goes up the mountain, and there's rentals and condos and townhomes and multi-million-dollar homes up there that have fantastic views of the valley and of the lake. And with the outlet malls, we have all the traditional types of restaurants, the Olive Garden, In-N-Out, stuff like that, but we also have a lot of fun one-off companies. We have the Strap Tank Brewery here in Lehi, and they also have a location in Springville, which was made and came up by a local company here in Utah. And we also have a ton of shopping options when we're talking about Lehi. We have Harmon's here in the Traverse Mountain area. We have Macy's right off the Main Street exit. And then we have Costco and Lowe's in Lehi. But right there in that section of Lehi, it's also borders American Fork. So there is a Walmart and a Home Depot right there in American Fork, but they're all in the same little area. So there's tons of options when it comes to shopping and home improvement and living in Lehi. So there's a classic joke about Utah and construction, and really with all the expansion and everyone moving in, there's tons of people moving in. Right now, Lehi has 66,000 people in it as of 2018, and we are adding about 1,000 people a month to the county. So we definitely are growing, and that is why we have so much expansion going on. With expansion, construction is a thing. This used to be no lights less than 20 years ago. I remember stopping at a stop sign at the end of the freeway. Then it turned into lights, then it turned into a diamond interchange, and now they're redoing it again, but it feels like it's constantly being redone and revitalized. And this area is the core of where all the tech companies are coming in, so there's a lot of people commuting to this location, which is why making sure this interchange makes sense and flows well is important because of the growth of this area. So if you've ever been driving along I-15 in Lehi, you'll probably notice the water tower, and this is called Thanksgiving Point. So we're standing right now at Thanksgiving Point. Thanksgiving Point was developed 25 years ago as a nonprofit organization to bring museums into the Utah County area. So Thanksgiving Point is always growing and changing. They have a dinosaur museum, a farm country, a museum of natural curiosity, which is geared towards children, and it has different areas to play in that are like the jungle, water areas, just kind of learning and exploring. And the newest addition to Thanksgiving Point is the Butterfly Museum, which is just behind us, and they have a whole area full of butterflies and wonderful plants, which is unique to Utah because we're fairly dry here, so we don't see as many wild butterflies. We do see them, they do exist, but it's not a terribly common thing.
They do have the Thanksgiving Point Gardens, which in April has the Tulip Festival. So my husband Brady and I, who does the other videos, actually we got married in April and we had a reception here at Thanksgiving Point during the Tulip Festival. So they have hundreds of tulips and you can come and walk around the gardens and see the fantastic tulips. So Thanksgiving Point is really a major entertainment spot for the county, but especially for Lehi. So other fun things to do in Lehi is Cabela's, which was probably the first big development up on the bench. Has a bunch of free stuff to do. You can go tour and see all the animals, you can feed the fish. It's a great afternoon activity for your kids. Thanksgiving Point also has a golf course that is highly rated. Thanksgiving Point also has the movie theater, which is a Larry H. Miller movie theater, and Larry H. Miller is a predominant businessman in the community who's passed away a few years ago, but he is the owner of the Jazz and he owns a bunch of car dealers along the Wasatch Front.
So one thing that Lehi is known for is the city is really good with working with businesses and development. Lehi realizes that it's in a prime position for development with all of the tech companies and being just 30 minutes from Salt Lake and 22 minutes from Provo. So with that, they have a lot of new construction going on in development. And it's actually one of the biggest cities in terms of acreage that is buildable in Lehi. And so they really are expanding. They have a fantastic master plan that they've really planned out where their growth is going, what they're going to be. Yes, there's been some changes and they've grown faster than expected. But when it comes to Lehi, they really are planning for the future. So we are just driving in a section that's close to Thanksgiving Point and close to 2100 North. And 2100 North is one of the major access ways to Saratoga that's been built in the last 5 years. Saratoga is just next to Lehi, and it for a while was you only had one way out, which was Lehi Main Street, which you'll see footage of at some point. And with Lehi Main Street, it was just a one way in, one way out, and it really made it hard for people to get in and out of Saratoga. So then the next street they built was Pioneer Crossing, which comes across Lehi, and now they have a third one, which is 2100 North. So they're really working on getting that east to west connection going in the Lehi area, which really helps with expansion and growth. And recently they just announced for Lehi that the Premier Children's Hospital is going to be built right here in this area, and there's already a Mountain Star Hospital. So Premier Children's is something that Utah is known for our children's hospital. It's one of the best in the nation. People come here from all over when they run into more complicated scenarios. So we're going to have a branch of the Premier Children's Hospital here in Lehi.
So Lehi has 268 acres of parks, and there are 30 different types of parks, or 30 parks in the area. So right now we're standing by the skate park. There's also a splash pad, and there's a lot of parks that have just running trails and walking trails, and a lot of different varieties in the area. So beyond having a little bit larger lots so you can have your own backyard space, there are options when it comes to parks. So we are standing right by 2100 North, which is the major connector from I-15 to Redwood Road, which connects to Lehi to Saratoga Springs. So this road is built to be huge, and there is tons of space to expand into it as the valley continues to grow. If you are watching this video and you've made it this far, it means you're probably thinking about moving to Utah. We help people from out of state all the time navigate the complication of selling in one location, buying in another, and going through the moving process when you don't live here. So if you are that and you want to know more, reach out. We would love to guide you through this process and help you find your home here in Lehi, Utah.